It's cold. All right, so we are continuing now with what we did, and as I told you, we can resolve this issue of CSV reader dot next. Instead of that, we have to give next CSV reader. This is the change, and the code will run now. No issues. The header names are name, branch, year, and CGPA, so they can be separated without using pandas also. Otherwise, we have option of pandas. Headers is equal to 0, you get the headers, and if you say header is equal to 1, it tells that the header now starts from row 1, not row 0. In arrays, in list, everything I told you earlier also, the indexing is always from 0. There are certain languages where the indexing is from 1. They're limited languages actually, but otherwise the indexing is always from 0 in most of the languages. Okay, I think in R it was 1. I used in R or some language I used recently, it was R, I believe, that the indexing was 1, not 0. But I am not very sure about it was R or something, because I keep using many things. Okay, 1 minute. Mhm. There was some messages. I was just going through that from the department. Sorry, let's continue. So we have done this one. We have displayed the data, and join function we have already seen also. And then we can read the data and display the data. Now, pandas for CSV we have seen. Now we can add own headers. Okay, you can add own headers. Add own headers. If you just want to read the data, but you don't want the headers to be same, so I can replace the headers. And what I can do is import again. I'll import because I'm not sure. Import. Why should I do that? Okay, import pandas as PD, then PD.read CSV in strecords.csv. This I already have. Let me check if I have it or not. It should be there. Yes, it is there. Okay, skip rows is equal to 1. That is first row has to be skipped. That is 0. Indexing 0. Names I'm giving S name, course, duration, and score. Now print the data. See, it has been replaced. Earlier it was name, branch, year, and CGPA. It is now S name, student name, course, that is branch. Instead of branch, we have course, year, duration, and CGPA is replaced by score. It is not in the original file. Okay, the original file will be like this only. Yeah, this is the one. It will be as it is. It is only for our sake, for our own data. We can do that. Okay, we can do this, and we can print the data. You can use names. You can replace, display, whatever you want to do, you can do. And then you can skip the rows and retain headers. You can do that also. Which rows you want to skip, you can do that. So I can skip row 1 and 2. You can see the data here, and I'm just skipping it. You can see that it has started from Aditya. So first two records have gone. So I've just skipped those, and it is helpful sometimes. Like you know that first two records are not useless records. You don't need those records. You can skip, or it may be like first 50 records are of no use. Now they're obsolete records. They're old records. So what I can do is I can give 1 to 50. I can simply skip. It's not zero. Zero is the header. So I'm retaining the header, and if I give 0, 1, 2, 0 to 2, then the header will also go. So I don't want to do that. And if I don't want a header, I can do that also. I don't want a header, I just want the numbers to be there. I can
Sir,
use, yeah.
sir, the why didn't the header's name change? Like
It has
why?
not changed. It has not changed. It is still the same. We have only replaced that for our own sake.
Okay,
Sometimes
sir.
sometimes it happens like in a data, I don't want the headers to be the same. I want a separate header. So I can do that. It is an option. You can do that. In the original data, it will still remain the same. I just showed you. I'll just show you again. See, name, branch, year, CGPA, it is still the same. The original data won't change. It is for
Okay,
your sake. It is for your reference, for your sake. If you just want to replace it. Your choice,
okay,
right?
sir.
And sometimes it happens like we read a file. Okay, we read a file which is actually a benchmark data set. Suppose when I say benchmark data set, I like to explain that also. These data sets are those data sets which have been tested and tried, and then only they are uploaded in the repositories. Data repository. There are a lot of data files which are available. Okay, but they are all benchmark data sets, right? So these benchmark data sets can be used, and they cannot be challenged also, and they are because they are all tested and tried. But what happens like the headers are suppose L1, L2, L3, L4. It is meaningless to me. I don't understand what is L1, L2, L3, although they have given that what is L1, what is L2, what is L3. But when I display my data, when I see my data, it is not showing what I want. So what I can do is I can simply just replace this for myself. This is for my sake to understand the data better. I can put my headers and just understand the data. What L1 stands for, what L2 stands for, and so on. So that is for our own sake. So you can replace. So you are not replacing in the original data set, you are just replacing for yourself.
Okay,
So
sir.
if you, right, okay. Now, suppose you don't want the headers, the header is equal to none. It will be replaced by numbers. And this is also possible. You can do this. So you can replace the headers. And we can prefix also. There are different ways of doing things. Reasons may be there for our own understanding. Add prefix to column names. Prefix is to be added first. So I'll just use this command and put a prefix option. Okay. Header is equal to none, there is no header, and I can put a prefix. Prefix is equal to something. One second. Suppose var. Okay. Now I run it. It is var 0, 1, 2, 3. But that is replaced. The header is replaced with something like this: variable 1, variable 2, variable 3. So instead of 0, 1, 2, 3, it is now variable 1, variable 2, and variable 3, and so on. Okay. Now we have the CSV files. We've written that. Okay. Suppose we have a nan value, and we don't have any nan values here, but I'll create a file where I can have some nan values. Okay. Nan, I'll tell you what is nan. And I'll create another CSV2. I have written the codes already, so I have given a space here. That is what I was telling, that suppose you don't have anything, any data for that column, you can leave it blank. But when I leave it blank, what happens? I'll run it first. But okay, I've not written the file, so it won't have, well, nothing will happen. So let me write the file first. And let me create it first. Then only things can be shown. Now let me run it. And what I'm going to tell you after this is very important. You can see this year for Pratik is blank. There's no year. So it treats it as a NaN value. If I read this data and try my machine learning language algorithm on this, it will throw an error. And you won't understand why the error is coming. It happens like I was doing one coding and the data was huge. The records were more than 1 lakh. And whatever I did, but the code was not running. And although it was a benchmark data set, but the code wasn't working, and it was always throwing an error, exception error or some error. It was showing throwing error, but the error could not be actually deciphered. You cannot find out what the error was. Like even if I searched on the Google, it did not work out. Did not find me the reason why this error was coming. And then I looked at the data, and I found that there was some empty cells. They were treated as NaN. So if they are treated as NaN, so it won't work. The data, the your code won't work. So we have to remove that, and or we just have to skip them or remove them, and see that what NaN values are, or first calculate also what NaNs are, and you can see the data. Okay, you can simply replace it with something. So let's see. Let's try it. If any values is equal to dot, data is equal to none, and any value is equal to dot. So let's see. There's nothing happened here because it is not NaN. I have not given NaN actually. I've given a separate file. Right? Sorry, I've given a space. So when I save it and download it and make it NaN, so it will show me. Let me try with NaN. Okay. Oh, what happened? 1 minute. Oh, sorry. Something like this. NaN. Let me first check the files. Mm, okay, let me give it NaN here. So we'll check also. If it is NaN there, it is NaN there. NaN is not a number. So now let me see if I can replace that. It is NaN only. So any values it is not replacing, but we have options to replace them and save them, or just simply remove them, or simply count them. You can see CGPA also, there's NaN. We can have the dots there. CGPA we have left it like this. So if we have NaN values, it will be replaced, or we can simply count the NaN values also. Okay, so you can do things like that. Let me show you one thing. Mhm. You can use the column name also and display that. So that is also there. But first I'll have to uh, replace that. You can have to put it in a data frame, and then I can actually do it. Mhm. Can simply replace with zeros. I can do something like this. 1 letter. Hmm. I'll have to give the column name and then I can do it, but it has to be a data frame first. In a data frame, I can do, but I have to replace it with a data frame, or we have to create it as a data frame. Then only I can do it. So I'll come to it, and numpys I can use. Fill in is there. We can use that also, but I have to convert it into data frame. So I'll come to it. Let me create this from a URL. There you can have the things. Okay, I'll show you how to replace once I read the files. First, let's check where did I write. Okay. And suppose I'm using this command and I throw an error sometimes. It is a data frame only, so I can use data, although it is pandas, but that's okay. So what I can do is in data CGPA, that is column, is equal to, I can use fill NA command, and that is data CGPA, CGPA dot fill, fill NA 0. What was not visible in any case. Let me try. No, it is giving error, so there's some error. Let's see. CGPA tolerance is not none. Keyword CGPA is not there. It is CGPA only. 1 minute. The original data has CGPA. Let me try with here. It is not able to take CGPA. That is the issue. Let me first print it and check. But in a data frame, it can actually take. It will not be an issue, but somehow, no, it is not taking. If tolerance is not none, here key, the error exception was the direct cause of the following exception. There is some exception there. It's not able to read. It is not able to read the column. This is interesting. It is a data frame you should read. It is a data frame. Mm. You can have fill a, you can have replace, you can have different commands, but first it has to take it as a data frame, and you can read a CSV file, and any values should be any values. I can put here 0 and check if it works. It works normally, but somehow it is not working. Let me run it again. It normally works. Mhm. Any values, I will just replace it with that hash. Let's see. Oh, sorry. I should. It's not displaying none actually. That is one issue. It is showing us spaces, so let me then if we see a CSV file, then it should show. No, it is showing none only. It is showing only none. It's not replaced. It is. It should be replaced actually. Data dot fill. Let me see. Data dot fill na 0, 1. Replace is equal to in place, or in place is equal to boolean. I can give that one of this line. No, it is not taking that. Value and method cannot specify both value and method. Right? Fill na 0, 1 in place is equal to true. That's okay. This is not taking anyway. So we will try something else to replace that. How to replace it? I can use pandas to replace this data frame. This pandas only, and it is not taking here, so I'll have to make it uh, data frame first. It is not actually taking. It is taking as a pandas data frame only, but it is frame dot frames. So I'll have to check it. It will come, but let me continue with the other part. That we're reading the files from a URL. We'll be using a URL, reading CSV file from a URL. URL is your basically your link, web link. I'm using is a Winter Olympics medal. Let me check if it is working. Site is working or not. There is a site Winter Olympics. And there we have the medals tally. So let me see if it is still there. Yeah, it is there. The data is still there, so I can use it. Okay. So medals equal to you have to use pd dot read underscore csv, and then I can put my link directly. I'm reading, and then print medals. Let's run it. Okay, so the data has been read. We have read the data from the URL and displayed the data. We can store it also in a repository now. You can simply save it. And if I want to skip, I have an option of skipping also here also. Skip rows or skip footers. I can skip the footer. This is skip last 5 rows. Let me run it. It reads very fast. They are dot set because there are more columns. It has 8 columns. It is showing 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 8 columns are not displayed here. But let me see if I can. No, I cannot do that. I'm not getting an option to expand it. Otherwise, sometimes we get an option to expand it also. We are not getting here anyway. So you can read from the URL and display also. Then we can read few rows. I can pick the rows, or I can simply read the first 5 rows. And also and display. See, city, sports, event, gender, medal, and all. Just first 5 data I have read. Skip the others, and we can interpret as 1,000. There's nothing where we can use this and data. Let me get some other data. This is all about medals, right? Let me find number of rows. Okay, and I can read only specific records if I want to. First 5, okay. Then let me get some other file. CSV file finance. Yahoo Finance. Okay, let's see if I have the historical data of Yahoo Finance as a CSV file. No, it's not there. Hmm. Yahoo my own. Let's see stock. Let's see if I have this file. NSC stock file. NSC report download. Just looking at the files. Okay, some interesting file which I can show you. Okay. Historical data. It's a zip file, so won't help me. I want a CSV file. Stats. Okay. So I need actually the URL for that. This file name actually I need. There should be something in thousands. Not interesting. Anyway, I just wanted to show you some data with comma separated. I will give you the. I can have a this thing COVID data set. This health data set. Let me tell you the command first. Then using this only. There's no 1,000 types here, so I cannot actually do anything here. Thousands equal to if there is something in thousands, 10,000, not 1,000, more than 10,000, so the data will come. University records also doesn't have that. There is no data here. But this is how you can do interpret thousands with a comma. You can read specific column. Read specific column, you can read the specific column. And to do that, you can use columns command. Same thing. Using only 157. First one, fifth one, the seventh. Only these. City. This is the first one. Sorry, this is 0. City. Then event and the middle. Okay. So I can read specific columns using use column command. Sorry, parameters option, and I can have the time taken to read the file. I can do that also. A comment. So comment is with always with a hash. Okay. So command I can use this. Now I'll read the entire file and I'll give verbose is equal to will tell me how much time it took, but there's something went wrong. Verbose is okay, 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 okay. This bracket has gone from somewhere. That was used for the columns. See, tokenization took 0.73 milliseconds, type conversion took 2.49 milliseconds, parser memory took 0.01 milliseconds. So it will tell you the time taken. So verbose, if you set verbose to true, you'll know how much time your data has taken to read. Okay, and you can read the file with the delimiters because they're also separated, comma separated, right? Now you can have something like this. You can have pd.read CSV, university dictionary.csv. This already we have, and separator is equal to colon. Okay, then we print the data or medals. It's not a medals, it's data actually. Let's see that. There is no separator like this there. You can type, change the column type. Change column type while importing. So what I'll do is, this is fine. Use this. Instead of the separator, I'll have to put a column there. Data type e type is equal to, within curly brackets, I'll have to give what I want to replace. Here, here is capital, I believe. No, it's not. As float. This is the data type, float 64, that is decimals. Okay. I will make it not, it is not medals, it is data. Run it. Let's see. It is replaced. You can see that it is now into float. The value earlier was integer. Now it is a float value. Float is always with a decimal, right? A decimal value is a double or a float. Now, this is what we can do with the CSV file, and dropping the columns and all. We can do that as we did earlier in the data frames and the list and all. So you can do that also, but we'll see that when we'll be using. Now I have to read the PDF files. So I should have some PDF files with me. So let's see. Yeah, like that. Read PDF files. You can read any file actually, any PDF file. So I should be having some, but before that, we have to install. If you want to install any module, you have to use an exclamation mark with pip install py pdf2. This is the module I want. And if my spellings are okay, it will be installed. Otherwise, it is going to tell that module does not exist. Installed. They are temporary. Okay, the moment I'll put it off, it will go. Now let me have some. Let me load some file. I have to load a PDF file, so I have to find the PDF file. Okay, I have AI. I'll use this. Yes, it is telling you that it will be recycled. So this is separated by a space. There's a space in between. That's okay. So what I have to do is import I PDF2. Now PDF name equal to can see if I can copy. I'll just remove the space. Yeah, I'll just make it AI. Why I want to have a big one. So AI dot PDF. Have to give extension also. There's one extra port which I have to remove. That's fine. Now read a PDF and then print. So let's read it. So to read a PDF file with PyPDF2, you need PDF file reader. Okay. So PyPDF2.pdf file reader and the name of the file. You can put the name of the file in the quotes also. And there's no need to have a separate variable for it. So you can do that also. Then you have to read the get page command to get a first page. Then extract the text using extract. Page is going to read PDF, get page, then page dot extract text, and then print the content. Simple. You can see that the file is read. It is stored in a variable that is your page. This is first page only. Okay, so we are using first page. You can use a loop to read all the files, all the pages. Right? That also you can do, but that is not required. That is a big file, so I don't want that. I can use get page numbers. I'll show you, and I'll show you also. Okay, for I in range, I have to read PDF dot get number of pages. Okay. It tells you about the errors it throws, so just have to read now. Simple. What you have to do is I'll just put it there, otherwise indents won't be okay. Indentation is important in Python, so be careful. in the command. So page is going to read PDF dot get page. We did 0. Here I'm putting I. Then print page number. I'm printing the page number. 1 plus read PDF dot get page number page. It start from 0, so I have added 1 to it. So instead I've converted it into a string because I'm putting a plus there, and then page content is the page dot extract content that is always there. So there are 5-6 pages they will come. See that page 5. Yeah. So 5 pages the data has come. You can see that. You can try it with a logged file also. Sometimes the files are logged, you want to edit or you want to take a text and use it. When you are not able to, you can try it with that, but locking sometimes won't allow you to open. But you can always try. There are certain codes locking things. You can use binary mode also. Display the file, information of the file, authors. Okay, display file for nation file. Now, now what I have to do is with open PDF name, that is name of the file which is already there. PDF name I think I have already given. Then RB is binary mode, read binary mode as if it has to be a PDF file or read like a binary only, so we use B. This is PDF file reader, read the file, information pdf.get document information and number of pages. They get num pages. Okay, document information gives you the information of the document. Then you print the information, authors, creator, producer, subtitle, and title. You are extracting that, and then you are printing. Just see. This is very interesting actually. Author, Microsoft Word 365, and so on. So if it doesn't have a subject and a title, it won't be there. But if the file has a subject and a title, it will show you there also. So in
135,000.
I'm hearing you. Okay, so we have read it like this. So information I can get the file information also. So whenever we are creating a file in a document or a PDF file, the information is stored of the author, the title, and all. If it is not there, then definitely cannot display it, but it can be there also. Whatever is there will be displayed. Okay, now this is another way. Uh, this is I'll have to write here. OS is operating system. If you want to do something on the prompt, operating system. So if you want to do something on the prompt, then you can use OS. Then in this we are imported a PDF reader and PDF writer. So reading and writing. Number we are using PDF name. Have to change it number name and AI here. Okay. So OS path split text, base name, PDF name. We are just splitting, and then PDF file name. We are reading the file. Then for page in range PDF.k page number, you are writing PDF file writer, add page, PDF get page, and format, and then you can just open and display. So we are writing and reading. So let me PDF reader is okay. Okay. Page 1, 2, 3. We created that. See, everything has been created now. On the left hand side, if you see page 1, 2, 3, 4, we have separated the pages. We have split the pages and created new PDF files. We having the page only, one page, two page, and so on. So you can split your file into pages, and you can actually get the pages also. If I open, see that page 1, it is opening there because it's a PDF file. I don't want to open it. Okay, page number dot PDF. That is how I'm creating the output file name, and format is file name and page plus one. So whatever the page number is, since it starts with 0, so I'll be doing that. 1 minute. Okay. So what we did right now is we have read a PDF file and divided it into pages and created new PDFs with the page numbers. So name of the file page 1, AI page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. So I have appended that. So what I've done is page.pdf. This is replaced by file name and the page plus one. This format, this is like a print command. So first and the last is empty. In between, you have the page. So AI page 1, 2, 3. This starts with 0. So I have added 1 in it. So page I'm getting here from here. Page number. So this is what is created. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages are created. So you can easily split your PDF file also into pages. All right. Now we can read a docx file also, and for that I should have, or I can create it also. Uh, okay, I can create. Instead of having a file, I can create. So read or write a simple example. I've given nothing much. Okay. Now for this I need another module. I'll have to install it. That is called Python Docx. I'll be installing that. Remember, they are all temporary, so if you want to run it, you have to run all the commands. Let me save also manually. I save manually also sometimes, but that's okay. Import Docx. Automatic save is there, but I try to do it my way. Create instance. Let me create an instance first. That is dot is equal to docx dot document. This is not a doc extension. This is a Docx extension. Now I have to add the header. Doc dot add heading. My document file using Python, and I have to give there 0. Now I want to add a paragraph, so I have a few things here ready. So I'll just put it. Add a paragraph. Doc dot add paragraph. We are adding a paragraph in the document, and then run. You can make it bold and underline it also. So add run to add bold, italics, and underline. So we did run. Add run is the command. We will make the text bold. Dot bold is equal to true. Then add run. Then again italics is equal to true. Okay, so we are using this now, and then we are putting a page break, and then we have to save it. So let's save it. We have to add a page break and add level 2 headings. So level 1 and level 2 headings. These are L1, L2, L3. If you are using Word frequently, you would be knowing heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. We have options. So here also we are giving this. This is second heading level 1 and second heading level 2. This is not sitting in the second. This is first heading. This is the second heading of the page. That's okay. Let's save it and see. Docx sometimes gives errors also, but it's okay because it has worked. Let me see it. Yeah, it is created. It is here test1.docx, and just open it. Okay, cannot open. I don't know. You can see it or not, but I am opening it. Okay, I'll have to share. Don't think you can see. Let me share this file. Those the file is this. Okay, you can see my document file using Python. The first heading, we are adding a paragraph in the document. We will make the text bold, and and this text will be italics. Okay, now heading 1 and second level heading. You can see the change in the color and the font size changes. Right? It is Calibri. You can see it is heading 1, and this is heading. This is 14. This is 13. It is. It should be heading 2. Yeah, it is heading 2. Right. So you can create a docx file also from your existing file or existing data. You can convert a PDF into docx using this. File name you can give any, whatever you like. You can read data, then you can save also, break also, different ways you can do.
Sir,
Yeah,
your screen is not shared.
yeah. I have to share it again. I close it now.
Yes.
I'll share it. Let's have some more from Docx. There are various options actually, and it took me some time to figure out the commands because I was working on a project where I had to actually convert the files, read the files, Docx files also, and the PDF files also. So I had to do it. It was for some judgments of the Supreme Court and the High Court. We were working on those. That was AI based, so I had to read it from the URL. These docx files gave me a lot of trouble, headers and all. So I figured out how to do that. Sometimes Google also doesn't help you, and the books are not there. Creates a problem, but anyway, I figured out. So I'm sharing with you what happened. Okay. Okay. This is actually creating few more things in a doc file. It is you have the headers and then the paragraphs is the same thing. You have to, that's okay. I've added a heading. Let us document dot add heading, and let us add heading level 1. Level is equal to 1, level 2 intense, style is equal to intense quote. Okay. Then bullets, then list numbers, then image, Python image. If I have an image, I can do that also, but I don't think I have an image here. Python image, from where will I get this image? I'll have to get, let me find it. I can add a picture, but I should have it. So let me see if I can get some this Python image, or I can get anything. Okay, I have a Python image somewhere, but I have to get the logo. I'll have to save it. I'm just downloading a file, a PDF file. Oh, sorry, a JPG file. Save image as. Okay, put it in the downloads. I want to save it as a JPG file. Let me see if I can save it. I'll show you once I've saved the file. If it is available, yeah, it is there. I'll upload it and show you. I have to upload this file here. So try download Python. As long as Python, where is Python? I save this file. Is in downloads only. Yeah, I have this file. There are two files, JPG file and the FAT file. I just want the JPG file. Let's upload this python.jpg. So we have python.jpg. So I'll put it as Python. So we have an image, then we have some records like this. Then I'm putting a table, document.add table, row is equal to 1, columns is equal to 3, 1 row and 3 columns, and headers, table rows dot cells, text, quantity, ID and discount, description also can be there. So header, cells, 0 dot text. First is the handle, we have to create an object, the cells of the table, and then you can put the data you want. Then for quantity in the IDs, just description in records. That is records is this. Just have to add the text. You have to convert it into string. Str quantity, ID, and description. Then add page break, and then you just have to save it. So let me show you. There's an error there. It is giving an error. Let me see. File unrecognized. It's Python name. Yeah, it won't have got. Let me see. It is Python only. Yeah, it is not able to find this file actually. Image python.jpg. This is the file I have. You can comment it for now, but you can put an image there. It is saying raise unrecognized image error. It is not able to recognize this image, so I'll have to get some image I have on my system. It was a web image, so it may have created an issue. So let me find some image on my system. I have two files there. Okay. Pictures. I think I saved somewhere. It is on my drive or something. It should be there with me. I have data set, but I don't have it here. Books I have. Let me see if I can find. Otherwise, I'll just skip it for now. But it adds actually, so it should not be a big deal. I have done it, so it's okay. Let me run the code first, and till it runs, I will find the file. Some image if I can get. It may be because of the size, or it may be because it was from the web, and I changed the image later. So is a JPG or not? I'm not sure. Lena I have got. I have a TIFF file, so I can have a TIFF file also. Let me see if I can upload that file. It is a TIFF file. The path. This is Lena is the most famous image of MATLAB. is a TIFF file. So lana.tiff. Let me see if I can upload from here. Otherwise, I think I have to give the. Last time when I worked, it was working fine. It was not showing me any problems. Lana.tiff. Okay. Let me run the code again. Oh, that is working. But I have commented it. Let me add the comment. Add picture. Oh, it's working. Well, JPG was some issue with the image itself. Okay, so the file is created and let's see. It is test2.docx. Test2.docx. Just open it and not save it. Then I'll share it with you. Okay, now I'll have to share. Docs. Okay. This is the file we are creating. This document with text, image, and all headers are there. Then the italics and all. Then the bullets. We have numbers. You can see that the image. This is the most famous image of MATLAB. All the image processing could be done there. Then you have this table. That's it. There's nothing more. Okay, so you can create your own document file and read it also. Now you know the headers and all, what the headers are and what the data tables are and what how they are named. So you can always read that. Let me see. Let me share it again. Okay, so you can create the file and whatever the file you want, you can put it here, the left hand side, and lena.tf TIFF is working fine. So JPG file will also work, but the file I downloaded was from the net, so it was giving some errors. It happens sometimes. Now, read. That is important. Test 2 we have created, so we can read that. We have created test 1 also. From that docx import document, then a document, we give the handle, we create an object, then read paragraph dot paragraphs. So you can read paragraphs directly. There are tables actually there, so text like this it will come. It may not be meaningful to you, so we can make it meaningful also. What we can do is something like this. In the list, you print the list of runs number of times. List of runs. This is the data. It's not readable. You can see that, but you can always extract the data using paragraph doc.paragraph 0.text. Document with text and image. That is what the header was. So you did it. You can print the entire document using a loop. Obviously, image will not be displayed, but everything else will be displayed. P is document paragraph. That is one page it is reading at a time, one line at a time, and then it is just converted into text. P dot text, and you can display the text. Above, you can see that you cannot actually you can not read the data, but here you can read the data. P dot text. You have to convert into text. bullets, bold, whatever you have done will be shown. Okay, and let me okay. Let me upload some document file. Mm, okay, you can use from the text file definition. Let me see if it can be done. F.8 Docx. That's fine. It's not reading. It is. So let's read an existing file. We do not know the headers and all, so it's okay. Use simply text. You don't have to worry about the actually uh, column headers and all. It will read everything. You just have to read the paragraphs and just convert it. See, everything is there. So now you can use this text which is now read from the file and use it the way you want. So we have seen the text files, the flat files, the text file, the CSV files, PDF files, and Docx files. These are the four types you would be using most of the time, and that we have already read now, all of them. Now I have to share it with you first. This is not part. Right. First, let me share it on GitHub. Right. Let me share the link. Now share the link. So this link is there with you, and use this link to see what we have done. Sharing the group also. All right, so we have this with you. We have already seen half of the text, and now you have to go through it. I'll give you some few files which you have to read. You have to create some text. I'll give you that. I'm just passing on. Just go through it for 15 minutes. I'll give you some questions, rather some files you can read, write, and show me you have been able to do it or not. The text also write in the text file. So just in 15 minutes you have to read that and then implement also the rest of the things. So for now, let me just go through it, and let me just stop the sharing part. It's not shared. Fine. So let's meet in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, sorry, and I'll pass on few things for you to do in the meanwhile. Just go through it first, then after 15 minutes I'll put this to be done. So share, I've already shared, just go through it, everything again if you want to. So you have to create a docx file, create a docx file or a reader docx file, and then you can read a PDF file, you can create a text file, a CSV file. So I'll share it with you. Right, I have to stop the recording, so I have to stop.